I'll kind of slowly warm up before I go 100 miles an hour here. I'm Vince from Listings to Leads, and this is a call to kind of give you a refresher on what we do and also tell you that we've got some awesome new stuff in here that's going to really help out your business, and we're hoping that you take advantage of it. There are people that are logging in right now. Before we dive in, I'm going to just show you kind of some, maintenance stuff, right? First of all, you should all have a login code and ID from our system. And I'll go through after this call, and if I've seen that you haven't logged in, I'll resend you the codes to log into your account. Susan, I did that for you, so you should be getting that any minute. You don't need to log into your account to follow along. It's probably best that you watch what I'm going to show you. So when you get to the account, you don't need to start a trial. This green button. You want to log in at the top right where it either says My Account or it says Log In. Now I'm logged in already as your office, but before I am recording it, Nikki. Yeah, thanks. Before you log in, I want to point out something. Now you can scroll down and see all of the cool things that we've got. We've got a lot of tools in here. And oddly enough, I mean, if you don't know about our system, every tool we create is designed to capture either buyer leads or seller leads or referrals. So the more you use, the more of the tools you use, obviously the more leads you're going to get. I'm going to focus on a couple of tools here that I definitely want you to use and utilize frequently. And then I also want you to point out to you right now where to sort of learn what's going on, what's possible. I'm at the bottom of our website, and there's a section here called Quick Links, and there's a blog. And usually I'm not too excited about pointing people to the blog, but there's some really exciting stuff happening right now. And I'm going to talk about some of it, and you're going to forget most of what I say probably. And if you can remember to come down to this blog, you're going to see a lot of information that is related to what we're going to be talking about today. $5 seller leads with phone numbers using PDF reports that are branded to you. I'm going to show you what that is. How to run a Facebook ad in 30 seconds. We're going to run a few of those together. This is really good here. I wish we had a better graphic because this doesn't make you excited, but this is what I definitely want all of you to see. Facebook lead ads, how to run a Facebook ad, to listing appointments in 2 easy steps. So the top half of this blog post talks about how to get the leads. The second half of this blog post talks about how to convert the leads into business. So collecting leads is fun, but contracts and commissions are even more fun. So I would watch that if you want to think about how you're going to convert leads. All right. And then here, this is Facebook lead ads, how to run ads. I'm going to show you that myself. This here, we're also going to talk about. This lady here, 3 new listings in 1 building, like a condo, right? 4 to 5 more coming. This actually, she's got huge results out of one of our top tools for sellers for getting more listings. And then I'm going to click on link number 2 here. This guy here, 490 leads. I'm going to show you how to run the ad. So we have a powerful new tool for running ads in Facebook and in Instagram. And we boiled it down to 3 clicks, so you can't waste your time and money. And if you look at this post, you're going to see a number of agents are doing just that. They're using that tool. But this one here, I want to point out for any of you that want listings, because this is straight up, this is what from our client. I'm going to show this to you in the mastermind group. And it has always been our top tool for getting listings, but the way this guy spells out what he's doing, it's very clear. And frankly, it's meant to be replicated. If you're somebody that wants more listings, you need to pay attention to this post. And I'll show you where it is in the mastermind group. And then I'm going to go to page 3. So imagine saying go to 3 pages on a blog and go read. But that's actually what I'm going to tell you. You probably don't know this, guys. You've been clients of ours for years, for a few years now. And we've been doing it for 11 years. And so we started this company in the last financial meltdown, in the mortgage meltdown, right? So now we're in a kind of a COVID, economic kneecapping, and we're fine. Like we're fine because we're still helping our clients grow their business and capture leads. And I think that's the reason we've stuck around is we've been very effective at helping people capture leads. But we're also, I think now, still effective in capturing leads, but we're very confident we're helping our clients grow their business. And the key to that is knowing how to use listings to leads. If you know how to use our tools, you're definitely going to grow your business. And this one blog post covers a lot of things. So I'm going to give this to you on this call right now, but know that it's on the 3rd page of our blog. And there are some things that you want to look at. So I was talking with Susan here, who is just about to get a listing. And we're going to, in this call, I'm going to blast through very quickly what you need to do to market a listing. But you know what, Susan? This call number 1 is going to help you step by step on how to market your listing. Call number 2, how to create Facebook ads. We have a new Facebook software embedded in listings to leads. It is incredible. It's powerful. It's helping our clients get both buyer leads and seller leads. And even more importantly, these leads are coming in with phone numbers. And I'll show you exactly what's going on in just a minute. And then this one here, I was talking to Susan earlier. Susan, you say you have 1 listing, right? I would look at this call, and any of you, the call number 3, if you want more listings, you probably want to know our top 7 seller lead gen tools. I am going to talk about the number 1 tool for a few minutes. So you're going to know what's at the top of this list. I'll probably show you what's at the bottom of that list too, but the rest you'll have to watch that recording and sort of see, because we've only got an hour here. And then here's a good thing that I think a lot of you don't know. I think that you think that if you don't have a listing, there's nothing you can do with listings to leads, and that is definitely wrong. There are a lot of things you can do with listings to leads that are going to help you get both buyers and sellers. I'm going to show you some of those things right now. But call number 4 is going to go in detail of what you can do. Because if you don't have listings, you might think you're sort of dead in the water, and you would be mistaken, because there are so many tools in here to help you. The next one I really like is free and cheap lead gen, because there's a lot of really creative ways and ideas to use the internet and to use our tools in combination that are free or really super low cost that help you get brand awareness and leads. So I would definitely check out these, and I'm going to copy this and see if I can send it to you guys. Give me a second here. Here's a chat here. Yeah. So as a reminder, I see that a lot of people are logging in. Welcome. I am sending this blog post to you now. It should be popping up somewhere on your GoToMeeting panel. And I want to make sure that you get that and you save it. And I mentioned some of the most important kind of tools there that are on there, I would log in. I would check those out and watch those if you want to grow your business with our system. Okay. Now, I'm logged into your Soldera account, and you each can log in, and you'll have your own kind of access, and you will see that there is a wizard here. If you log in for the first time, don't skip past this wizard. What this does is this connects to your Facebook ad account. It turns on social media auto posting, so we can auto post your listings to Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. We're going to create a home valuation landing page for you. We'll even share it for you. All right, all in this wizard. It's just going to take you like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to do that, and it will turn on a lot of automation. So don't skip that. So at that point, you kind of set that up. I want you to kind of think of listings to leads in 3 areas, right? 3 ways. One is listings, right? So if you've got listings, we're going to create a bunch of tools automatically. We're going to send a lot of those tools to you automatically. And if you went through the wizard, like I just mentioned, we would also send some of those things out and post them for you automatically, right? So there's just a lot that goes on, right, that we can do regarding listings. Now I'll dive down in here and we'll look at your listings, and we'll talk about what you should be doing with them. But let's kind of just high level it right now. We've got a whole another section that you need to be aware of called landing pages, right? And landing pages are important because they're very, they're awesome at capturing leads. When you log into your landing page section, we've already created these and they're sitting there waiting for you in your account. Now, if you go to your profile, you'll find out that we can auto post these landing pages to your business page on Facebook and to your Twitter and LinkedIn account. And I'm not going to click this now, but if I click this green button, that's going to get my name and email from Facebook and deliver it probably to Dawn or Patty over there, right? So when you log in and get your landing page that looks like this, anybody that clicks that is going to send the name and email as it appears in Facebook to you. So if you want to talk to people about new construction, right, you could run an ad on this, or you could say, hey, on social media auto posting, I want to automatically post this once a week or once a month to my Facebook business page, right? Now I'm doing it manually so you can kind of see what it looks like, but we literally would do it automatically and it would look super awesome. So I would recommend turning on auto posting and taking advantage of that. But that's just some of the kinds of landing pages that we have. I also want to say you can create all kinds of landing pages. We have landing pages for empty nesters. So let's create an empty nester plus landing page. And let's say it's for Portland, right? Now you can do this, and all you do is you click add landing page over here to the right, and it's going to create a custom landing page. And it's also going to drop us on this place where we can kind of edit it, okay? But at the point that it is created, you could certainly share it. But you can also run an ad and drive, thousands of people to see it and collect leads. So, this is just the landing page section at a high level. You can customize the words on that little form. You can change the picture in the background, but that's just one, right? Obviously, there are all kinds of landing pages that we can create, and I just want you to know that they are there. And the third thing that I want you to know is the ads tab. Now here, you're going to see that it tells you one thing, connect to your Facebook ad account. I'm not going to do that because it would connect to my Facebook ad account. But each of you should log in and connect here. And if you watch this 2-minute video, it's going to show you the process of how to connect. And once you do that, you're going to have an incredibly powerful system for ad creation and lead generation for you. We're going to spend some time in that. But before we go there, let's go talk about listings. And if you have listings, they should be automatically getting swept in your account. And then we're going to email you a stack of tools, okay? But if you open that, you don't even need to log in to use these tools, but you probably want to, I'm going to just show you some of the tools now. If you log in, you can go to the task list, and give me a second. Everything's going a little bit slow here. Let me get this out of the way. And you'll have a checklist like this. And I definitely want you to be using 4 of these tools. The first one, which is for your social media, the second one for the seller social media, the e-flyer for your database, and there's one tool into print marketing. Now you'll see that there are other tools, right? You can post to Craigslist, we've got blog tools, we've got a great open house sign-in form if you're able to hold open houses. We're automatically posting your virtual tours to our YouTube account. You can also connect your own YouTube account. So if you use Gmail, you actually have your own YouTube channel, and you can connect it on your profile or maybe even right here, and then we'll auto post any of your virtual tours to your channel. This is great in a listing presentation to be able to tell people, I have my own channel on YouTube and I put your home's virtual tour on YouTube, right? So you would do that by kind of going through there. But these 4 tabs here that I've checked, I want to make sure that you're using at least 2 or 3 times for every listing. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. When I click this button, when we were talking, I clicked this button, and you might have noticed that a little calendar thing pops up. That's all that it does, okay? It doesn't do technically what needs to be done. So let's click into this. When you want to actually do the function, if you're logged in, you do it from here. Now, Dawn here has automated, turned on social media auto posting. So what I would have told you is when you get this email, you know, we'll create this tool. Let's look at it really quickly. We'll create it, and if anybody clicks on this button here, it's going to grab my name and information, my name and email, and give it to Dawn. Okay, that's what this thing does. It's called the listing landing page. So it's really effective, right? It's really effective. People click that Facebook button in a heartbeat, and they've given you their name and email. Now you know they're kind of interested in that. You can kind of, you know, see if you can get them to talk more about what their needs are. But there's also, if you open this in your email, there's these buttons over here that say Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So you could click that Facebook button and you could say, oh, I want to post this to, let's give it a second while Facebook does its thing. You could say, I want to post this to my business page, right? And you can also, by default, it's going to push it right to your personal page, but I don't know if you want to do that. But you might have a number of business pages, and I've got La Marinda Danville Luxury Living. That's my business page, right? So you can type in like, hey, great home, and you should actually put some emojis in there, nice goals, you know, whatever you want to do. But definitely, like I would tell you, put in emojis, put in some key language, maybe put some hashtags on it. If you're putting it on Twitter and Facebook or LinkedIn, put hashtags on it. But that's how you do it manually, right? So we're sending that tool to you automatically as soon as it hits the system. And you can open it up and do it just like that. And you can do that automatically for Twitter and LinkedIn. You can type it in one by one, right? But I want to point out that Dawn has social media auto posting turned on. So this was auto posted. She didn't need to touch it. And let's click on that and see what that looks like. So this is going to Soldera Properties, but you might have your own business page that you want this to go to. Excuse me. And it can certainly do that. So let's give it a second while that pulls up. So you noticed how when I posted, I had to type in all this stuff. Well, look at all this that's created. This is automatically created by us, and it's posting to the Soldera real estate office page. So you can have this go to the office page. You can also have it go to your personal page. But either way, when somebody clicks on this, there's going to be a tool behind it. All right. And this is the important part about our auto posting, because this will capture a lead and deliver it back to the listing agent. Okay. Now, if you borrow the listing, let's say you're borrowing a listing from another agent, like this is Dawn's listing, but maybe Dawn says, hey, Susan, do you want to borrow this and maybe market it yourself or go hold an open house for me or something? If somebody pulls it in, the lead capture is going to go to that agent. So that's kind of another cool thing. If you don't have your own listings, you can borrow listings and then you can share them out or auto post them and capture leads from it. So that's number one. And like I said, you can do it automatically, and also you can do it manually, however you feel like doing it, depending on your time. Number two is for sellers. And this is automatically emailed to you. And I think it's an often ignored tool, partially because the instructions that we've given you are just, I think they're confusing, frankly. So let me show you what it is. We email this to you, and you should take this email and forward it. Click the forward button and send it to your client. But before you send it to your client, wipe everything out except for the information that they need, right? And I'll explain to you in just a second. I copied the information from inside the system, right? When I'm talking here, I just copied it, but you're going to get it in an email format. So you'll click forward and you'll delete out everything except what this is saying right here, right? So we'll give it a second so it pulls in the picture. And I want to kind of, describe to you what it's meant. So the first tool I showed you was for your social media, right? For your business page, you can put it on your personal page, for your Twitter account, for your LinkedIn account. That is for your social media. But we also created a tool for your seller's social media, right? And that's great for a couple of reasons. Obviously, it's designed to capture leads for you. And the more leads you can get on this home, the more offers you can get on this home, and the higher price you can get on this home, right? So this is a great tool to send to your client, say, hey, we just put this in MLS and we're advertising all these ways, but would you put this on your social media, on your Facebook wall for me, so that we can get more people to notice your home, right, and get you the highest price? Now, one thing for you that you want to know is like, yeah, of course it's going to capture leads for you, but what this is really doing, and this is telling your clients, friends and family and colleagues, that you're their realtor and that you at Soldera are doing this, that you're the professional selling their home for them. And, like I said earlier in the call, we've been doing this for 11 years and we've succeeded because we capture leads. And our clients love leads, right? But I can tell you this, our clients prefer referrals much more than they prefer online leads. And this is not an ad, it's a post that's posted by your client where they're typically sharing pictures of their family or their pets or the food that they eat or whatever random thing they're doing in life they share with all their friends and family and colleagues on Facebook. Well, now they can share that their home is for sale and that you are the professional selling their home for them. So this is a just listed post, and frankly, it's pretty awesome. Our clients love it, and I'll tell you why they love it. They like the fact that they get leads that they are not paying for, and they really like getting listing leads, because when you get a listing lead from an online ad, let's just imagine you used one of our tools and you got a seller lead. Well, when you do that, they have no idea who you are. You just sort of used one of our tools and you captured the lead, and now it's kind of like, okay, great, but I just don't know who you are. But now let's just imagine that you capture a seller lead because your client's friends or relatives or colleagues saw it. So this same tool, and it looks like this team is using it. Hopefully they did use it. They checked the box. So let me show you what it looks like when we sell a home or when you sell a home. And Susan, I'm going to keep mentioning your name because we spoke earlier. When the listing hits, you should use these tools when it's just listed. If you hold an open house, you should use these tools again, the 4 tools I'm mentioning, when it's an open house. Now, you may not be able to hold an open house because, COVID rules or whatever. But some people are doing virtual open houses, and you would want to use these things to get that word out too. Sometimes a lot of our clients want to use it when it's pending, but they definitely want to use it when it's sold. And so let's look at it here. What does it say, right? So you saw the one for Dawn, right? But now it says our home is sold, and we want to recommend Alicia Dart and Bobby Inman at Soldera for doing an excellent job. Here is their phone number and email for all my friends and family and colleagues to see, right? So that's exactly what this is all about. It's now everybody, if they're using this, I don't know how many friends their clients have on Facebook, but often it's 200 or 300 people who are important to them that they trust and know. And now they're saying, you have done an excellent job. So what happens if one of their friends wakes up one day and goes into Facebook and goes, oh, my friend sold their home, and what? Who are these people at Soldera? If I'm interested because maybe I own a home, if I click on it, it's going to take me somewhere, right? In this case, it's taking us to a really cool tool, right? And there are 40, more photos, and I can look at this. But notice that when the home is sold, the call to action is to get a home valuation, right? We don't think many buyers are looking at sold homes. We think that people that look at sold homes are often homeowners. So there's multiple reasons for you to use this tool when it's sold. There are very high quality listing leads, and frankly, they're listing leads and referrals, right? So we create these tools automatically for you all you got to do is update the status, change it. If you look at your listings when you log in, they're typically going to hit when it's just listed, right? And then you can say, oh, well, now I want to change it from just listed to pending or active contingent or sold, right? And when you do, it's going to update that. And if you've got auto posting turned on, it's going to auto post, but it's also going to create that new look for the seller post, right? So let's go back to the listings page and we'll go a little bit. There's just a couple more things we want to talk about to make sure that you're using, right? And we'll go back to Dawn's listing. I'm going to skip, I checked 4 things, right? And I'm going to skip the 3rd one and go to the 4th one because we just talked about that one tool for Facebook for the seller. And I mentioned it's going to create high quality listing leads, right? I don't know, some of you kind of came in late. I sent you a blog post that talks about our top 7 seller lead generation tools. We rank those tools not on how many leads you capture, but on how fast those leads turn into contracts, okay? So we've got a lot of tools to help you capture addresses and emails. But if you want listing contracts, the number 1 tool is the 4th tool here. If you open up the print marketing, there's a nearby homeowner letter. So again, I'm going to talk. So all you got to do is download it. Now, Susan, I'm just going to mention you again. This tool is going to be created automatically for you. You can log in and download it here. And you mentioned that you're getting your first listing, which is awesome. And if you want more listings in that neighborhood, this is the number 1 way to get them. It basically says, hey, I've just listed a home in your area. Take this physical piece of paper and go to your own computer in your own home and click on that link, and you're going to go somewhere to learn about that home. And then in a few moments, I'm going to give you a call to action to become a lead for me, right? So that piece of paper does that, right? That's what it does. But it also says when when that home is sold, that's going to affect your home value. So if you're curious to learn about that, click on this link and go get your free home value. And this creates a home valuation landing page, right? And it's there. And if we capture a lead, in this case, we're going to deliver it to Dawn, right? But Susan, if you use this page, you can probably imagine those home value leads are going to you. And then you got to ask yourself, well, how do I get this letter into the neighborhood, right? Into that neighborhood. And so in the old days, kind of pre-COVID, I would have told you door knocking. I've got stories upon stories in our mastermind group. And this is a good time to talk about our mastermind group. I know some of you are in it. I don't see you much in it. I don't see you interacting with it. But we have a mastermind group. Why are things slowing down here? Don't do that. Let's see. Give me a second here. Let's close this. Maybe I got too many things open. Let's go here. This mastermind group is a private group, so you can't see it unless you're in it, So if you go to listings leads and you type in mastermind group, you won't see this page. So if you're already in it, please invite the other agents in. But when you're in it, you can then search things, right? You can search things like follow-up, or you can, search things like home value or open houses. But I'm going to search one guy. I'm going to search a couple people. I'm going to look for the name Cheyenne Lake. And Cheyenne Lake is actually not the name of the person. It's the name of a lady, an agent, who came in here and said, hey, I took that letter that I'm talking to you about right now, and I went door knocking with it, right? And I went door knocking for 7 hours and I got 4 listings out of it, right? So that's one way. And I know with COVID, you may not feel comfortable door knocking. But even pre-COVID, if you were door knocking 200 homes, I guarantee you 200 people did not answer their door. So what happened was, you leave it behind. You knock, and if they answer, you have a quick conversation. If not, you leave that letter behind. You leave this physical letter that we created automatically for you behind. This lady, 7 hours is a long day. It's a lot of walking and a lot of knocking. But to get 4 listings for that work, I think is a really great return on time. Now, it is COVID, so that's not really what you might be thinking is a smart thing to do, and I would understand that, but we don't want to search on COVID. We want to search on this name, Chris Winstead. Now, I was mentioning the blogs earlier, and there was a picture of this guy, and so this is actually being talked about in our blog. But this guy Chris is coming in last summer and saying, hey, guys, this is what I'm doing to get listings. I'm creating these big envelopes and I'm dropping them off. So who is he dropping them off to? And here's what it is. And so I mentioned earlier that our top tool for seller lead generation of the top, there's a video of top 7. It is this tool. This is number 1. But this post here by Chris is, frankly, it's awesome. And I want you to know about it. You can search on it yourself, but I'm going to point out why it's awesome. It's not awesome because of that video, which is actually pretty cool. What is awesome is this right here. So what he's telling us is he's got 5 listings in 3 months in his own neighborhood, right? And he's kind of a newer client, and he wants to develop his own neighborhood. He wants to be the guy in his neighborhood since he's a realtor, right? You might feel the same way. You might live in an area where you don't want to drive a half hour or 45 minutes for business. You want to just sell homes in your area. Well, this is what this guy did, and this totally works and it makes sense. So he got 5 listings in 3 months in the COVID, ridiculous hardship real estate market, right? Listings are tight. You can't talk or leave your house. How does this guy do it? He sends out that letter every other week to people who've owned their homes for 5 years or more, right? Downloads a letter, and somewhere he buys a list. Maybe it's RedX, or maybe it's Remine or SmartZip, or any of those companies. It's going to get you a list like that. He gets a high quality list and he mails that letter or on any of his listings every 2 weeks. And once they've opted in on the home valuation landing page, I consistently contact them every week with phone calls, bomb, letters via mail, and letters left at the door, right? Now that's obviously some work, right? But let's just finish up. So once they opt in on the neighborhood specific place, once they opt in and get on that home value page, well, he has their information and he knows how he got it because he physically mailed it to a list. But then every week he drops off big letters. I showed you the letter. He emails with a bomb video, and maybe he phone calls them every week, right? Now, I do recognize that is some work, but if you want listings, that is an awesome model to get more listings. So that guy's name is Chris Winstead. I could keep going and telling you. I'm going to go with one more on this story, and I do talk about this whenever we talk, right? But let's look at Alicia Pless, because Alicia brings another aspect to this strategy that I want you to know. Whenever I talk about this letter, most agents think, that's awesome. I like it. I want to use it, and I want to use it efficiently So I'm going to get that and download it and give it to a bulk mailer. And I'm going to tell them I want it to go to that address or zip code or whatever, right? And that makes sense. But what you need to also recognize is that if that thing looks like junk mail, it doesn't get opened. And if it doesn't get opened, it really doesn't do anything for you. So you'll find that our clients that are using this most effectively, they're making sure it looks kind of custom. Maybe it's a bright envelope. I've got clients doing handwritten envelopes. This lady right here came in last summer and said, I got the third house in 6 months in the same subdivision. This is in, that COVID lockdown, right? I just want you to know that subdivision only has 50 homes in it, 50. This is a neighborhood that she wanted to build a business. If you have a neighborhood that you want to build a business, I definitely recommend that you look at that letter and you think of how you can get it into your market wisely. And the last thing I'm going to do, and then we'll stop talking about this, is I'm going to show you Dustin Fox. Dustin came in a few summers ago. He is not on the West Coast. He's over there by just south of Washington, D.C. in Virginia. And he was, kind enough to tell us, hey, that's the highest ROI on our business, right? And let's look at it real quickly if it pulls up. He mailed that to 250 homes, all right? Took the letter, downloaded it, put it in a black envelope with 250 homes and mails it first class. So there's a cost, right? $625 for 2 mailings. But he got 10 listings with an average commission of $17,000. So for him, he says, hey, that's the highest ROI in our business. That makes sense to, if you're going to spend $625 and make 170 grand, that's pretty high ROI. That's obviously an outlier, but I can tell you, Dustin, when I set up their office, just like I set up your office, I train their office just like we're doing today. And Dustin is one of 300 agents, and he was a rookie agent. He was a guy when their office rolled out, which is over 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. He was doing $5 million a year. He had only been a realtor for 2 years, and he was doing $5 million in production every year. And then he found our system, and he started using some tools, right? And using our stuff. And this is one of the tools that he used. And he has gone from 5 million to 20 million in production. He's basically a star in that office of 300 agents. And he did a call. The recording is in the mastermind group. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it in a long time. And he did an hour-long call with us last January, like at the beginning of COVID, and said the reason he wanted to do it is that he was a rookie agent. He went from 5 to 20 million. But also, he says 80% of his business, 80, is coming from our tools. And the only thing he was doing, and he tells us in the call, is he runs Facebook ads with our tools. He uses the open house marketing, which, you could use open house at that time, which is similar tools. And he uses that print flyer. That's all he was doing. And what he said in that call, the print flyer for nearby homeowners, is that every week he would put his daughter in valet and he would go next door and sit in the Starbucks and work in listings to leads for 2 hours a week. And it was those 2 hours that got him from 5 to 20 million. So I really like that story, and that's why I'm telling you that story. So that's the print marketing letter. The last one I'll talk about is the e-flyer for your database. And the e-flyer for your database is for your CRM. If you've got a CRM, if you've got hundreds or thousands of leads you've been capturing over the years, copy this, copy the code, paste it in your CRM, and blast this to them. They can click on that link, on that picture, and become a buyer lead. They can also click on this link or this graphic and become a home value lead. So just like the print flyer, it says, hey, when this is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So you've got both buyers and sellers sitting in your database. You're probably just not talking to them. And so in this little blast, you're able to send them multiple hyperlinks where they can interact and become, kind of raise their hand again, start the dialogue again. So this is really great to use if you're sitting on a database of leads, right? So those are the four things I would say touching, there are other tools that you can use, but you got to use these tools at least when it's just listed. If you can do an open house, definitely. Maybe when it's pending or under contract, but definitely sold. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this here that we looked at earlier. Remember when we looked at the auto post that we did for Dawn, and I said it was going to Soldera, right? And that's fine. I think that the office might be auto posting, the leads are going to get captured and get sent to you anyway. But you can also say, hey, I want to post this to my personal business page, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that. First of all, you should, okay? You should auto post your listings to your business page. Now, what I'm going to do here is click on, so right now I'm looking at the Soldera business page, okay? And this is what it looks like for people when they see it. But I want to kind of point out a little something here that you may not know. Do you see here it says 817 people follow this page? That means you would think that if we post something here, if we auto post or if you hand post anything here, you would think 817 people are going to see it. But that's not true. That used to be true before Facebook became a public company. But when Facebook became a public company, they had to figure out how they're going to make some money. And the way that they make money is by charging people for ads. That's one of their biggest ways, right? People like you. And so in order to kind of incentivize you, they changed the algorithms in Facebook. So before it was a public company, when you put something on your Facebook page, 817 people could see that. They could log in and that would scroll up and pop up in their feed. That would be awesome. But when they went public, they quickly changed the algorithms. And now they say only 5% of the people who follow your page will see anything you put on your business page. Okay? So since there are 817 people here, when something gets posted, only 40 people will see it, right? And that's a maximum number. And to kind of explain that or show that to you in a different way, I'm going to take you to my listings to leads business page. And where we are on our business pages, we have over 13,000 people who follow our page. And we often post things, right? We post all kinds of nonsense there, right? So, and you can see like now we're using Hootsuite, and this is really excited about that. But let me just show you, like, we've got 13,000 people following our page. When we post something, oh my God, 195 people see it, 90 people see it, 397, well, that's a decent number, right? 155. So I want you to understand that whether you post something by hand or you allow us to auto post for you, it has a very limited reach. Not many people see it. But remember I was mentioning that there are ads here. You can now create your own ads. And there are some steps there to do that. You're going to need to connect your ad account. But let's talk about how to create ads and listings to leads. We've got 15 minutes left. And I hope you hang out for this because this is actually some of the most powerful stuff that we just added to listings to leads. And you should by all means be taking advantage of it. Let me just expand this over here. Somebody got on the call. And I need to make sure everybody is muted because it sounds like somebody is. Let's just click mute all. That should mute all. Okay. So I'm logging out of your office account, and I'm logging into my personal account. So when you log in, it's going to kind of look like this for you. You're going to have a personal agent, right? Account, and you'll all have an ads tab, just like the office has an ads tab. And you should definitely, by all means, be using it. Now, in mine, I showed you what it looks like in the office. And so the first step for you will be connect your Facebook ad page. And just watch the little 2-minute video. It's going to show you what's going to happen, and then follow those steps. And once you're done, you're going to have 3 green buttons here. All right. And you can create a listing ad, you can create a landing page ad, and you can create a PDF report ad. So let's go here and click create a listing ad. Now it defaults to this thing that says lead ads. If I can make sure, do not change that. What that is doing is that's a form created by Facebook that is pre-populated with their name and email and phone number as it appears in Facebook. We all, any of us that use Facebook, we need our real name and email and phone number just to access it if you get locked out or something, right? So now with this tool, we're not asking people, hey, type in your name, phone number, and email so we can give you information. It's just pre-populated. That's why it's working incredibly well. So you can say, hey, I want to market something that's just listed, or I'm going to do something that's open house, and click create an ad. So if your listing is in your account, it's going to be in that drop down, and boom. Even if you're borrowing it. Now, what you have to do here is now you can say, hey, there are 3 steps. Create the form. I'll show you in a second. Type in the location, maybe like Portland, and click publish. And when you publish, it's got a $35 budget. It's for 7 days, so it's like $5 a day. I'm not sure about right there where you guys are, but on average, a buyer lead costs about $1. So if you run an ad for 35 bucks, you can probably assume you're going to get between 30 and 40 leads in those 7 days. So you'll need to click first, create a form, and notice the form looks like this, right? And you notice it says full name, email, and phone number. What we can't show you here in this picture is that it's pre-populated. It will say full name and email and phone number, but it will be sitting there fully loaded. They don't have to type it. It's like, it just says, do you want the information, right? So what you need to do is create the form, and let me click it here. Type in the location, like Portland, right? And maybe expand the radius 30 miles, right? You can be the judge of that. And then publish. That's how you create a form. That's how you create an ad. Now, I don't know if you've ever created ads on Facebook. I always think of it this way. If I talk to any realtors, there's a fork in the road. The first fork is, have you run an ad or have you not run an ad? And then let's just say 50% of you say, yeah, I've run an ad. If you keep going down that path, you'll say, okay, well, who captured leads and who didn't? And then there's a fork in the road there. And many of you capture leads, and many of you are like, no, I wasted my money and I don't know why. Why are other people succeeding and I am not succeeding the way that they are? Well, it's not really your fault, because Facebook has 3 pages of boxes that you got to check. Some are almost hidden, and some boxes are in different places for you as they are for different agents. It's just weird. Facebook is weird, and Facebook changes about every 3 days. So it would be hard for you to know exactly what to do correctly. If you want to market a home that's open house, you actually got to do it differently if you want to market it as sold. If you want to run an ad for a PDF, you got to do it differently than an open house. So how do you know all that? Frankly, it's really hard to keep up with that. So now if you just click that and type in your location and publish, we have checked everything in the background. This is actually Facebook software sitting in listings to leads. And we told our coders, our software people, if they do this kind of thing, check the boxes in the background so they don't even have to think about it. So really the moral of the story, guys, is if you are in real estate and you're running an ad in real estate, you should really be running an ad right here on this ads tab. Unless you want to go through 3 pages of Facebook, and if you're if you're a Facebook guru, go right on and go do that. But if you want to run an ad very simply, let's say you want to run an ad on new construction. We were looking earlier at the new construction landing page that we automatically created for you. You could customize that, right? And choose new construction. Of course, everything is running, just dragging on me now, but what are we waiting for? Why? Exit page. Sorry. Oh, something's going really slow here. So you create a page, and let's just go to home value and just leave it. I think because I've got this software recording and all this, everything is kind of chugging to a halt. There will be a new graphic. What do? You create the form, you type in the location, and you hit publish. That's what you do. It's really simple, right? You can do new construction, you can do home value. But the most important thing I think going on, aside from marketing listings, and let me just say, to get buyers, if you want buyer leads, marketing a home that's for sale with that green button that says create listing is the way to do it. But over here, what if you don't have listings? What does this mean, create PDF report? We have 44 PDF reports for either sellers or at the bottom of this list for buyers. So you got to kind of ask yourself, who do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to more buyers or do you want to talk to more sellers? And at that point, you can say, well, if I want to talk to more sellers, and my apologies, thing is really like running slowly. You just choose the report that you want. Just wait, right out loud. And just click create an ad, right? And so when you create an ad, it creates an ad. Let's see if it's going to work for me. It's got a whole new graphic on the right, right? And then what you do, you create the form, you type the location, and you publish the ad. So in case you're not familiar with Facebook and what the ad looks like, I do want to kind of drive into it just for a second here. So I'm going to click the news feed because some people think when you create an ad, it shows up on your business page. And it doesn't. It doesn't. When you do an auto post, that goes there. But like I mentioned earlier, that doesn't have a lot of reach. In your case, if it goes to the Soldera page, 40 people will see it. But when you run an ad, the ad shows up right here. What we're looking at, waiting for it to load up, is the news feed. Okay, and the news feed is where people scroll through. You may not know this, but Americans in the United States spend around 40 minutes every day scrolling through Facebook, looking at what their friends are eating and looking at pictures of relatives and whatever nonsense people are looking at on Facebook, right? But when they go in, the very second post is always an ad. And that ad is just like this ad. And where it says it's sponsored by Listings to Leads, it's going to be sponsored by your business page. And let's see if I can, I'm kind of lost here. Give me a second. Sorry, give me a second. Yeah. So here it's sponsored by Dignity Health, right? Some healthcare company talking about the great things they're doing. It's going to be sponsored by your business page, and it's going to have that big picture. And then at the bottom right of the ad, it's going to say learn more. So if that person clicks on that ad or clicks on learn more, this form pops up. This one I was mentioning earlier. And it has their name and phone. So it pops up. Let me see here if I can pull this up. It pops up. You know how there's sort of like a chat panel here. You can chat with your friends. This little window pops up. And it's got their name and email and phone number as it appears in Facebook. So they don't even need to type it. It just appears and says, would you like that information? So, and it says yes. And they click it, and boom, you've got their name and email and phone number. And they've got the information that they want. If it was a PDF report, we would give them a link and they can download it and they've got it. Those PDF reports are branded to your office. They've got your office logo. They've got your contact information. Everything that's on your profile is showing up on the PDF report. Okay? So again, you can run ads on the PDF reports for both buyers and sellers. You don't need listings. You can run ads on landing pages. You can create your own custom landing page. Maybe you want to have a landing page that's on waterfront property or a particular neighborhood or one of those cute islands you got over there. right? You can do, oh wait, I'm thinking Seattle, sorry. But you know what I mean. You can create your own landing page and then run an ad. And just so you know, when you run an ad on a property, and if you spend, let's say you run a $20 ad on a listing for 4 days. That ad, if you run a $20 ad in your area, in the Portland area, probably 2,000 to 3,000 people will see it, right? So think of that in combination to auto posting. If you auto post to Soldera's business page, 40 people will see it, right? But a $20 ad, 2,000 to 3,000 people are going to see it. And some percentage of those people are going to click and become a lead with their name, email, and phone number, right? So that's the power of Facebook advertising. And I'm going to tell you this as well, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. I actually recommend that every agent, and I talk to realtors all pretty much, you know, all day, every week. When they ask me what they should do with Facebook, I tell them this. I tell them they should have a $200 a month ad budget. And that can be split up on multiple ads. I would run one $20 ad every week on a listing. Remember, I said the best way to get buyer leads is to run a listing ad. I just showed you how to run a listing ad. You just click create listing ad and choose a property and you click 3 buttons and there you go. That $20 ad, as I mentioned, will be seen by 2,000 to 3,000 people. And since it's a $20 ad, you can probably count on around 20 buyer leads, right? And then on the weekend, you can run a landing page ad, maybe on home construction, maybe on free home value, or maybe you've got your own landing page that you want to talk about. Maybe there's a new development coming down, you know, that you want to get, you know, sold. All those kinds of things you can do, and you can do that for 30 bucks. Or maybe you don't have a landing page this week and you just want to do a PDF report ad for sellers, right? And you can say, yeah, I want to do Curb Appeal 101 for 30 bucks. So that is a $20 ad every week on a listing at any status, open house, sold, just listed. And a $30 ad on either a landing page or a PDF report. So that's 50 bucks a week, and there's usually 4 weeks for every month. So that's about 200 bucks a month. For that, your business page, notice mine is listings to leads, your business page, you, the Rockstar Realtor, whatever your business page is called, is going to be seen by thousands of people every month. And you're going to collect, for 200 bucks a month, you're going to get somewhere between 1 and 200, maybe more than 200 leads every month. A mixture of buyers and sellers based on what you're using, what you're advertising. That's really my recommendation. But if you've got a listing, I definitely recommend that you market that thing with the ad generator, do it in 3 clicks, run it like 4 or 5 days, and then next week run it again until that home is sold for 4 or 5 days. Don't run a 30-day ad, just do short blast ads, you get higher results. And then run a couple PDF reports and you will see what's going on. It's pretty powerful. So guys, that's my story for today. Don't miss the opportunity of running Facebook ads. It's just, it's really, it impacts our clients' business. They absolutely love it. And don't forget about that letter, the nearby homeowner letter that I mentioned. That's just really, you know, the strongest way of getting listings. Are there any questions for you? I don't see any, so I will remind you, this call is being recorded, and I'll get this recording up and I'll send it to Dawn. Thanks so much for your time. Oh, one last thing. If you're not in the mastermind group, I mentioned that the mastermind group is, it's private. So if you're not in it, you can't find it. If you go searching for it, you're not going to find it. And so the easiest way to get in the mastermind group, well, you can ask support, and it's not the easiest way, but it works for most people. There's just some weird stuff about Facebook, so sometimes people get stuck in a black hole. The easiest way is to find me. My name is Vincent Meza, M-E-Z-A. I'm in Lafayette, California. I'm a VP of sales here. If you friend me and just say, Vince, I'm with Soldera, I'll get you in the mastermind group in seconds. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. I hope this helped you. I definitely recommend using the tools that I described to you. Keep safe, and I'll get this recording to you shortly. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Appreciate it, Vince.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.